What is up, y'all? Odeed, aka Big Jake here once again, and today I'm going to make some ribs, and I'm going to use what I believe is the rib rub recipe from Goldee's Barbecue in Texas. Now, if you haven't heard of Goldee's Barbecue, they just won the #1 position in Texas Monthly Magazine as far as best barbecue spots in Texas. Now, before reading about Goldee's in Texas Monthly, I had never actually heard of them myself either, so I went onto YouTube and looked them up, and one of their pitmasters has a barbecue channel called Jirby BBQ. I will put a link in the description down below so you can check out his channel. And on that channel, he says that one of the rubs, or spice rubs or spice blends that they use at the restaurant is a mixture of pepper, salt, and Lawry's seasoned salt. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna go ahead and take those three things, put them on some pork ribs, and see what I kind of think and how I like the Goldee's Barbecue or Jirby Barbecue spice rub mixture. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get the video started. Now, I guess Goldee's actually sells the blend of pepper, salt, and Lawry's seasoned salt, but Jirby said on his channel that when you kind of blend it all up like that, and you're using it, you kind of have to constantly like shake the shaker around because the granules on these three things are basically different size. Basically, the rub isn't evenly proportioned when it's mixed up. So he said the best way to actually put it on is to do it separately and start with the pepper first, then go down to the salt, and then do the Lawry's last, because that's done by granule size, meaning the pepper, if you're using coarse pepper like I'm gonna use, the granules will be the biggest, and then the salt will be next, and the Lawry's will be last. So if you put the Lawry's on first, it's gonna crowd out the other two spices. Also, I'm using smoked pepper. I know this says it's Tom's smoked pepper, but this hasn't been Tom's smoked pepper for a long time. I actually smoke my own pepper, so that's gonna be slightly different from what they do at Goldee's, is I'm gonna use smoked pepper. Of course, I'm gonna use sea salt, and then I have the Lawry's here. Also, let me say that there's something that Jirby said that I thought was very important. He said you can switch the spice rub around on your ribs. You can switch the binder around, and you can do all kinds of things, but the most important thing is you have to be a good cook. And I would agree with that 100%. If you want your food or your barbecue to come out really well, you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta be a good cook. And then all of this stuff is sort of like secondary. I feel like at this point I have my method down really well on my ribs. So with that being said, it's time to play around, and I'm really interested to see how this kind of plays out on pork, and then I may even eventually end up doing a brisket video with it as well. So anyways, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get it started. Also, I have St. Louis ribs. I think Jirby had like a whole spare rib, basically, or spare ribs that he was using, and then what he did is cut them what some people call Texas style, where you just cut off like the some people call it the brisket bone, or the breastbone. He just cut that off and then kind of squared them up on the end. These are St. Louis. It's not a huge difference, but I usually cook St. Louis, so that's what I'm gonna go with, basically because that's already what I had in the fridge. And then just like he did, and I always do this on my ribs too, is I'm gonna kind of square them up, if you will. There's a bunch of like little itty bitty bones over here. This like end isn't gonna cook really well. So I always square this up like so. This as well, I usually do like that. And then I noticed Jirby left his membrane on. It's probably something they do at the restaurant. Most restaurants seem to do that, because if you're cooking like 50 racks of ribs, you're not gonna take the membrane off of every single rack. So I'm gonna leave this on, even though I normally take it off, because what the heck, I haven't done that in years. It sounds fun. And again, you know, experiment, switch it up, it's fun. I'm gonna cut some of this fat off. Yeah, I think those look good. So yeah, now it's ready for the spice rub. All right, let's go ahead and get this pepper on first, and I'm just gonna do this by hand, meaning I'm just gonna sprinkle it on like this. I also noticed that Jirby did it pretty high up. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but I'm doing it. Also, I don't know if this is exclusively what they use at Goldee's, or if Jirby himself came up with this. I've seen some other people use a rub similar to this. Chud's Barbecue actually used this recipe one time. I know John from The Barbecue used something close to this with the Lawry's. So I don't know, but it looks like from Jirby's video, like this is pretty much what they use. All right, I think that's enough pepper. Now let's do the salt. Remember, big granules first. And last, we do the Lawry's. That looks like it's about enough. Pat it in. Do the back side as well. I feel like Salt Bay right now. Salt on the back. And last, the Lawry's. Lawry's comes last, remember that, people. So yeah, there we go. Nice little trifecta of rub on there. I'm gonna put it in a food saver bag, let it sit in the fridge for probably 3 or 4 hours, and then we'll go throw it on the offset. All right, we'll be back. All right, y'all, I got the lang fired up, and one thing I should mention, and you know this if you watch my channel, when I cook on my lang, I cook hot and fast. Right now we're sitting at about 320. Yes, I said 320, and I do, once again, I cook hot and I cook fast. I think the lang works great. When it comes to hot and fast. I'll put these ribs on and then I'll let this fire kind of settle in. Anywhere between 275 and 300, and total cooking time will probably be around 2 to 2.5 hours, something like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and put them on. All right, ribs are on. I'll check them in like an hour, just to like check for color, see what they look like and whatnot, and see how the fat's rendering. All right, we'll be back. All right, y'all. Rocking along, 1 hour in. Temp's about 300 degrees. Let's check these out. Check them out, they look pretty good. Pepper's giving them a nice color. By the way, I don't spritz, I don't really feel like it's necessary. I'm gonna guess 30 to 45 minutes from now, I'll probably wrap them, but we'll see where they're at when we get to that point. All right, we'll be back. All right, y'all, it's been about an hour and 45 minutes. Let's take a look and see what they look like. I can tell you they are probably not ready to wrap without even looking at them, and there's a little trick with the lang. I'm not hearing a lot of fat render off and drip down and hit that reverse flow plate in there yet and sizzle. When you start hearing a lot of sizzle, then it's time to wrap usually. But let's check it out. They look pretty good. They're pretty close actually. I think I'm gonna do smoke. I think I'm gonna do another 15 minutes and then we'll go ahead and wrap them. All right, we'll be back. All right, y'all, we are 2 hours in exactly. Barbecue's sitting at about 280 right now, and I'm pretty sure it's time to wrap. Let's take a look just to make sure. Look good, check it out. I got a nice color, nice kind of like mahogany color to it. One way I can really tell it's ready to wrap is the bones start to pull back like this. The fat's rendering off well, so yeah, check these out. These are ready to wrap. So yeah, I use foil, and then I do a mixture of half barbecue sauce and half water. Just thins the sauce out a little bit. About half a cup. Lay a 1/4 cup down. Put the other 1/4 cup on the top here. All right, throw these back in, and then with meat side down, and then because we are cooking so hot, I usually only wrap for 30 minutes and then they should be done after that. Just keep the smoke right around 300 degrees. All right, y'all, ribs are done. Total cooking time was 2.5 hours, about 300 degrees. Let's get them out of the foil. So here's what they look like. And this is actually, for me, the color that I like. I don't like super dark or very like barky looking ribs, if you will. This kind of has like a nice kind of like mahogany color to it. You can see all the pepper on here. It looks really good. They smell great. And you know, if you want more bark, I would say cook them longer and cook them uncovered for longer. And yeah, you'll get more bark. All right, I'm gonna flip them around because I usually cut them upside down. See how they cut? They're cutting really nice. Pick these out, y'all. Very nice. They look really good. Nice color on them, definitely juicy. Moment of truth, let's see how they taste. Oh yeah, those are good. They're really good. You obviously get the pepper, you get the salt, and then the Lawry's kind of adds like this, like a savory, and it kind of like blends real well with the barbecue sauce. I don't know how the barbecue sauce is at Goldee's, if it's like a sweet sauce or what, but yeah, it really plays well with the barbecue sauce. It's a nice blend. Yeah, it's very good stuff, very interesting. Again, I'm not exactly sure if this is what they do at Goldee's as far as what they put on their ribs. I know Jirby in some of his videos, he used different rubs for, you know, he used like a meat church rub one time on some of his ribs. Then he had another video where I think he used just Lawry's and pepper. So yeah, those are really, really good. I'm gonna put a link down in the description so you can check out Jirby's YouTube page. And of course, go to Goldee's Barbecue in Texas and check them out because they just took the #1 spot in the Texas Monthly. All right, my name is Odeed and I'm out. Peace.